Okay, so I'm going to take you guys through the directions for the lab, and as I had mentioned earlier, there are a few changes that I'm going to make as we go through. So in the kit that you picked up, you should have had 2 sheets of paper that look like this. At the top, it says lab, blood typing, and transfusion. So this is a visual to kind of reinforce what we were talking about the different blood types and why different people can donate and why some exchanges are not good to happen between different patients. So this is kind of going to give you a visual to represent what's actually going on when those blood exchanges happen. Now, in your kit, I gave you just some styrofoam cups. So it talks about beakers on here. Those um, cups are going to be your beakers. And so you should have, I believe I did put 5 in there, but you're only going to end up using 4 of them. So for those cups, go ahead and label them type A, type B, type AB, and type O. So each cup is going to get its own blood type designation written on it. You can eliminate beaker 5, the patient. We're going to do this a little bit different just to kind of cut down on the back and forth, because if you follow these directions as is, you're going to end up cleaning cup number 5 16 different times. And so I'm going to try and eliminate that. If you end up having to do it that way when we get to the end of this and you still want to run it through that way, that's fine. But I'm going to save you a lot of time and energy in cleaning that cup repeatedly, doing it in a slightly different method. So you will go ahead and set up the cups. I'm just going to call them cups instead of beakers. The cups of water 1 through 4. So you'll put in 150 mils of water, and then you will add in your drops of food coloring. And each one of you should have had a package of food coloring in your kit as well. The 2 drops of red food coloring in one, blue in the other, and then a combination of red and blue food coloring. I'm going to have you increase that. So I'm going to have you do 4 of the red, 4 of the blue, and in the third beaker, you're going to do 2 of red, 2 of blue, just to help with the color a little bit. And then it says in your directions to leave cups 4 and 5 alone. We're obviously not doing a cup 5, but in cup number 4, you are going to have just water, and it's going to be clear water. Okay. Now, when you get into the second sheet and it starts talking about doing the exchanges, this is where the 2 slides are going to come in. And you're going to take those glass slides out. It helps with this a lot if you will take a piece of white paper and put the slides on the white paper first. And once you have the slide on the paper, then we're going to go to the pipettes. So you should have 4 little prepackaged pipettes in your kit. It is very important as we go through this activity that you do not cross-contaminate the pipettes. So whatever pipette you put in your A blood type stays with A the entire time. Don't ever take it over to your B cup, your AB, or your O. You can pipette out of your A cup, put it back in your A cup. If you go to a different cup, you have to use a different pipette. Otherwise, your colors are going to get mixed and your results will be thrown off. So you have 4 cups set up. One should have red in it, one should be blue, one should be purple, and one should be clear. Your white piece of paper, you're going to set your slides on, and then a pipette in each one of your cups. And at no point is a pipette from one cup ever going to touch anything from another cup. Now, to see what your exchanges are going to look like so that you can fill in this table here, what you're going to do is on one of the slides, go ahead and take some of your blood out of your type A cup. Put 4 small drops of that food coloring or that water on your slide. So 4 drops of your A blood type. Now what you're going to do to see if the exchange is safe or not is you're going to go back and you're going to add a second drop. So, and the first drop on your slide, go back to your A cup, add 1 drop to the first drop on your slide. Then go to your B cup, take out a drop, put it on the second drop. Go to your AB cup, put it on the third drop on your slide, and go to your type O cup and add it to the fourth drop. So on your slide, you should have put 4 drops of type A blood. When you go back a second time, you are going to add each blood type to those single drops. So the first blood drop will get type A added to it. The second blood drop gets type B added to it. Third blood drop gets AB added to it. And the fourth drop gets O added to it. What you are looking for is a change in color. So if it goes from red to blue, that is a color change that indicates it is unsafe, that that person with type A blood could not receive from that particular donor. Now, let me clarify what a color change is. Color change is when it goes from one color to another color, not when it changes intensity. So going from dark red to light red is not a color change. It's still red. So if it's just a color or change in the intensity level, not a color change, that would be safe. If it is a color change, so it goes from being that red color to purple, or if it goes from a blue color to a different color, then that would be an unsafe exchange. I gave you the 2 blank slides so that you would only have to clean the slides off twice. So when you are finished with your type A blood, go to your second slide. Now, this time you are going to go to your type B cup. You are going to take the pipette, and on your slide, your one that's still clean, you are going to put 4 drops of type B blood across the slide. So 4 individual drops that stretch across the entire slide. This time you're going to go back and you are going to take your pipette from your A cup, add 1 drop of the type A blood to that first drop on the slide. Then go to your B cup, take a drop out of your B cup and add it to the second drop on your slide. From your AB cup, put it on the third drop, and from the O cup onto that fourth drop. So then you look for your color changes. When you get through those first 2, you are going to have to clean the slides off. So clean them up, rinse them off, dry them up, come back, and this time you're going to take one of your slides, put it on the white paper, go to your AB cup, pipette out enough so that you can put 4 drops of AB blood across that slide. And now you're going to go back and the first drop gets A, second drop gets a drop of B, third drop gets the AB, and the fourth drop on your slide is going to get some from O. Your other slide, which should now be cleaned off, is going to go through the process. You will start it out with 4 drops of your type O blood. So you'll take your pipette, pull out enough so that you can put 4 drops of your type O blood on that slide. And you're going to go back now and take a drop from your A, add it to the first drop. See if there's a color change. If there is a color change, it's an unsafe exchange. Go to your second cup, take out the type B, add it to the second drop. Go to the third cup, add it to the third drop. Your fourth cup, add it to that fourth drop. So what you're doing is the first set of drops that you put on that slide should all be the same blood type. Okay. When you come back with the second drop, now you're going to add 1 drop from each of the blood types to see what happens. So you initially put those 4 drops on the slide. That is a type A person. And we're going to see if I give a type A person blood from another type A person, is that going to be safe? Then you go to that second drop. That's still your type A, but now I'm going to give them B blood. And if I give a type A person blood from a B donor, is that going to be a safe exchange? Third drop, still your type A person, but now we're going to give them AB blood and we're going to see what would happen. Would that be a safe exchange? And then we get to that last one. Now we're going to give that A person a donation of blood from a type O person, and we're going to see what happens and if that would be a safe exchange. So the initial set of drops you put on your slide should all be from the same blood type. That is the person that's going to receive the blood donation. When you come back with a second set of drops, those are going to be the donors, and you are going to see if those would be able to be received by that blood type. So I hope that that kind of helps. Like I said, it trims down the process of having to run back and forth and clean out that fifth cup 16 different times. If you want to run through it that way, you can. But when you are done with the lab activity, this should be filled out. Okay? And then you are going to take a picture of that and send that to me through email, and I will look at that and um, grade it once I see that. There are other questions that go through this lab, and I purposely did not send that last sheet because I wanted you guys to run through the lab and get the answers. And then that second set of questions that I will eventually put out is going to help me kind of understand if you guys were able to work through this and to see it. So make sure that if you have any questions, you send me those questions so that I can get them answered for you, because this is not the only graded part of this section. You are going to have to come back and do a little bit more with it. So I want to make sure that you feel good about this, you understand this. But like I said, those color changes represent whether or not the exchange would be safe or would be unsafe. Color change, unsafe. A no color change, that would be safe exchange. Okay. All right. The last thing that I want to kind of clarify is when you fill out your table, this would be the what blood type was on the slide to begin with. And then these are your donors over here. Okay, and it says that across the top, but just to clarify and point that out before you guys get started. All right, so I hope that helps with the lab. Like I said, shoot me any questions you have through email, and I will get those answered for you to help you work through anything that you might come up with when you're in the middle of the lab.